All right, we're on lesson 6.1, multiplying fractions. I have a question. How many of you would rather add fractions or would you rather multiply fractions? Which one is easier, adding fractions or multiplying fractions? Which one's easier, Jonathan? Multiplying. Way easier. Why? Why is multiplying easier? What don't you have to do when you multiply, Jonathan? You don't have to have the same denominator. In adding and subtracting fractions, you have to have the same denominator. There's work to do before you can even do anything. When you multiply fractions, what do? Multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6, and you're done. I mean, it's real simple, right? You simply multiply the numerators together, and you multiply the denominators, and you're done. Now, what is likely going to be true when you multiply fractions, though? What are you probably going to have to do, Slade? You're going to have to simplify, right? That happens a lot. In this one, you didn't have to, but a lot of times you have to simplify. Okay? Even when you add fractions and subtract fractions, a lot of the times you still have to simplify. So, I mean, it's still a matter of this is really, really a lot easier. So really, honestly, people, that's it. That is the whole deal. I mean, goodness gracious. That's the basics, is you take the numerators and you multiply them, and that becomes the new numerator. You take the denominators and you multiply them, and that becomes the new denominator. Right? There is shortcuts, and I will show them to you right now. If I have 2/5, well, let's just practice a couple of them. You do this for me. Multiply 2/5 times 1/4, please, right now. Do that. Show me you can do that. All right, you should be done. What do? What did I just tell you you're supposed to do? Don't tell me any shortcuts. What did I just tell you you're supposed to do, Reed? Multiply the numerators. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 over 20 can be reduced. Divide the top by 1 in the form of 2 over 2, 1/10. Right? How many of you got 1/10? Should all have gotten 1/10. Okay, good. In this question, so here's the deal. Sometimes you end up with, there is a shortcut. What is the shortcut, Donovan? Do you remember?
Yeah, but I don't know how to say it.
How do you say it? Do your best.
Well, it's like you can simplify 2 to 1 and 4 to 2.
Yeah. I'm going to show you this one time, just so you can see why you're allowed to do this. Whenever I multiply numbers, what is 2 times 1? 2. What is 1 times 2? Do you see that it doesn't matter what order they're in, it's the same thing. We already know we're going to be multiplying these two numbers together. Agreed? We know that. So then what's the difference between 2/5 times 1/4 and 1/5 times 2/4? Nothing. Notice all I did was just switch the 1 and the 2. Do you agree? It's the same thing. Because of that, can I reduce 2/4? Am I allowed to reduce? Can I reduce 2/4? What is 2/4? 1/2. I can reduce this to 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 2 is 10. It's 1/10. What we can do, though, is rather than just take the time to rewriting the fractions with the new numerator, all you need to worry about is that I can reduce any numerator with any denominator. As long as it's 1 from the top and 1 from the bottom, I can reduce them if they're reducible. Here, I can look and go, that 2 and this 5. Can I reduce the 2 and the 5? No. Can I reduce the 2 and the 4? Yes. Divide by 2, divide by 2. That's a 1. This is a 2. Is there anything else to reduce? No. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 2 is 10. We're back to 1/10. Does that make sense? That's the shortcut. You can cross-cancel. That's what they say. It's called cross-canceling. Right. Should be nothing new. Really, this should be nothing new to you. Now, what if you have this problem? You guys do this one for me. I'll give you 10 seconds. Here's the deal. Look here. I need you to see something. It doesn't matter which numerator and which denominator you choose, as long as it's a numerator and a denominator. What could I have done right off the bat? What is something I could do real simple right off the bat? I could change 4/8 to 1/2 if I wanted to. Agreed? No, let's do that right now. Divide by 4, divide by 4. This becomes a 1, this becomes a 2. Now what do I do? Nope. Can I reduce anything else? Is there any numerator and denominator that I can now reduce?
Yes, yep.
I can go divide by 2, divide by 2. This becomes a 1, this becomes a 1. Now I'm done. 1 times 1 is 1. 9 times 1 is 9. The answer is 1/9. I want to show you something, though. This is important that you see this. Watch. Here's the same question. 2/9 times 4/8. What if I had decided to cancel out the 2, divide by 2, and this by 2? 1 and a 4. What is 4 over 4? It's 1 divided by 4. Divided by 4, it becomes a 1 over 1. Sorry, and it's still 1/9. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as you have a numerator and a denominator. What some people do is they get a little confused, and they'll go like this: divide by 2, divide by 2. Nah, you can't do that, right? It has to be a numerator and a denominator. It cannot be 2 numerators and it cannot be 2 denominators. One on top, one on the bottom. It has to be that way. You understand what I'm saying? You all should know this. Okay. What about this? What about this problem? Let's try... Here's the deal. Do you guys all know what the word "of" means?
Yes.
Listen, I'm going to say something to you, and I want you to listen. No, listen. What is 1/2 of 10? 5. You guys all know it. If I ask you, just say, what's half of 10?
5.
You know it's 5. Half of 10 is 5. Let's look at this. 1/2 of 10 is the same thing as 1/2 times 10. How do you do when you're multiplying a fraction times a whole number? What do you do? You put the whole number, make it into a... What can I do at this point? Cross cancel, divide by 2, divide by 2. This is a 1, this is a 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 over 1 is 5. You knew that, though. Half of 10 is 5. You knew that. Right? Of means multiply. Of means multiply. What is half of 20? 10. 1/2 times 20. You see where it would be 10 over 1? So just remember that. If I ask you what is, let me erase all this. What if I asked you what is 1/4 of 20? Don't say it out loud. What do you do at this point? 1/4 of 20. What does of mean? What does of mean? Do you all know what of means?
Yes.
I'll try it again. What's of mean?
Multiply.
Oh, multiply. Of means multiply. 1/4 times 20. Do I write 20 like that when I'm going to do the problem? No, over 1. It's so simple. You take a whole number, you put it over 1, and then you can start either... Listen, would it be wrong of you to go 1 times 20 is 20, 4 times is there, and then decide to reduce later? No. I'm telling you, though, that there are times, like the question I'm about to show you, like this one up here, that would you really like to multiply 7 times 21 and then see if it's divisible by 9? I wouldn't. That's a lot of work. Don't you agree? 7 times 21 and then see if it's divisible by 9? That's work. Or, what can I do? If I know that of means times, I can change this to times. Make this over 1. What can I do? Is there anything I can do? Can I reduce anything? What can I reduce? The 9 and the 21. What can I reduce them by? What am I going to divide them by? 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. This is now a 3. This is now a 7. Is there anything else I can reduce? Is there any numerator and denominator that I can reduce? Is there? Is there? The 7 and 3? Can I reduce the 7 and the 3? No. So what is 7 times 7? 49 over 3. At this point, here's the deal. I'll tell you a secret. If you will reduce this, if you will make them into where you cannot reduce it anymore, there's no more reducing, then you know what? You know that there's no way to reduce that. If you will reduce this as far as it can go, when you do multiply it, there will be no reduction. You know that you don't need to simplify it anymore. Now we have a problem though. 49 thirds is improper. Got to change that to a regular fraction, right? To a mixed number. 49 divided by 3 comes out to 6 remainder 1. 16 remainder 1. Sorry, 16 remainder 1. What is that? What is 16 remainder 1?
16
And there's my answer. Does that make sense? Okay. You guys try one. Try, I'll say of, just to be fancy, like you said. What do I do with this? What should I do? Draw that. Good, perfect. 5 12 times 30 over 1. Perfect. Now what? Is there anything I can reduce?
Yes.
What can I reduce? 30 and 12. Reduce it by? If you had done 3, listen, if you had done 3, that would work. But then what would you have to do? You'd have to reduce it again by 2, right? If you can find the greatest common factor, you want to. If you can't find any factor, but you're just going to have to do it, more steps, right? Divide by 6, divide by 6. This is now a 2, and this is a 5. Anything else reducible? No. There's a 5 on the top and a 2 on the bottom and a 5 on the top. The 2 can't be reduced with either of those 5s. 5 times 5 is 25 over 2. Am I done? No. What is 25 over 2? How many of you got 12 and a half? Should have all got that. Oh, excellent. If that's true, then you guys are in good shape. Let me see if there's anything else here. I mean, there really is, I think you guys should be fine. Let me give you your homework.